exam for the longer writing questions, also in the translation, but particularly in the 90-word tasks and the 150-word tasks, you have marks for use of language. So I just want to talk you through this video, the types of thing that you could do to get higher marks for the use of language, as is given to us in this guidance from AQA, the exam board. So one thing, it refers to a variety of vocabulary. Key thing is there to try and avoid repeating yourself. Don't keep saying me gusta, me gusta, me gusta all the time. Vary it out. So it refers to a use of synonyms here. For example, instead of just me gusta viajar, I like to travel, you could say prefiero viajar, I prefer to travel. Me encanta viajar, I love to travel. So all sorts of different synonyms there, like me mola, me chifla, me flipa, all different ways of saying me gusta is great. Also, as well as saying, for example, ir, to go, you could say viajar, to travel, llegar, to arrive. Instead of saying bueno, good, you can say espléndido, splendid, emocionante, exciting, estupendo, great, maravilloso, marvelous, and any other type of positive adjective you can think of that would just vary your responses from just divertido and interesante. It's just to vary it, like flipante, for example. Okay, more sophisticated vocabulary, so much depends on what you have learned there, but it's great if you can use some vocabulary that not everyone else would think of. A variety of structures. Here we're into the grammar side of it. So, for example, things that you could use that would help push your marks up are things like infinitive constructions. That's where you might say, for example, después de ir, after going, antes de ir, before going. So after this después de or antes de, you'd use an infinitive, those part of the verb that ends in an ar, er, or ir. Al ir, ongoing, as in when I went, for example, thing. Para ir, in order to go, or para hacer, in order to do. Sin beber, without drinking, for example. Sin ir, without going. So those types of constructions help you get higher marks. Also linking adjectives to infinitives, for example, es fácil hacerlo, it's easy to do it. And linking nouns with infinitives, tengo la intención de salir, I have the intention of leaving. And also other constructions that take infinitives, like prefiero ir, I prefer to go, suelo ir, I usually go, I tend to go. So that lots of infinitive constructions are very good. Okay. Object pronouns, it mentions things like lo hago, I do it, that's an example of an object pronoun. Disjunctive pronouns, words like conmigo, with me, para mí, for me, they are good examples. Indefinite pronouns, words such as algo, something, alguien, someone. Use of connectives such as tanto como, both this and this, or no solo, not only this, sino también, but also, por un lado, on the one hand, y por otro, and on the other, por una parte, por otra parte, another way of saying on the one hand and on the other hand. Además, furthermore, or además de, as well as, aparte de, apart from, a pesar de, in spite of. These are all great phrases to use. Adverbs and adverbial phrases. So we've got sin embargo, however, por eso, therefore, por lo tanto, another way of saying therefore, thus, también, also. These are nice phrases that you can use. Also negatives like nada, nothing, nadie, no one, nunca, never, ninguno, none, jamás, another way of saying never, ni, neither, tampoco, also meaning neither, sino, but, as in not this but this. So great to use negatives. Desde hace constructions, which means how long you've been doing something. For example, llevo 5 años estudiando español. I have been studying Spanish for 5 years. You could also say that as estudio español desde hace 5 años. I've been studying Spanish for 5 years. Comparative expressions like tan como,